There's nothing like a warm cup of coffee on a cold or rainy day here in Houston, Texas. I hope that everyone's doing well today. I hope that your life is peaceful and that you're happy. Here at my channel, I focus on the cozy regarding creative art, journaling, and a little bit of magic. I am Nefer Khepri, the cozy, intuitive creative, and I'm glad you're here with me today. Now on to today's video, in which I'll take you through a partial flip through on the pages I have done in my journal for January of 2026. I hope you enjoy the video. This is the decorated cover to my Hobonichi 2026 cousin. It is an A5 size. It has monthlies, weeklies, and dailies. Plenty of room for you to track all sorts of stuff. And I'll go into how I use it a little bit and then show you the pages I've completed for January so far. It'll be from New Year's Day until January 12th. What I did, first of all, I had to cover the cover because originally it's this. And that is, to me, a pukey shade of violish yellow. And I just cannot stand it. It literally makes me feel a little sick. So I always cover the entire cover with decorative paper. And here I used mainly black because I knew I was going to use a lot of stickers. And then the only pre-printed deco on it is this witch's cauldron here and some crystals. And behind this journal sticker was a witch hat, but I really wanted this sticker on my cover, so I covered up the hat. So I'll take you through a brief synopsis of where I got all these stickers from, and then we'll open her up, shall we? Okay, I've switched to an overhead view with my camera. It's much easier to see my journal that way. Now, as I explained for the cover, this is just cut from a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbooking paper from a scrapbook pad that I purchased at Michael's a couple of years ago. And if you're not in America, Michael's is an American chain of craft supply stores. And they also have an online site, michaels.com. I do not know if they ship overseas or not. Probably not. I don't know. And that's where I get a fair amount of my art supplies from because, you know, I've got one 5 minutes from my house. And that was one of the main deciding factors when we purchased our home 20 years ago. We went looking at the neighborhood and my husband's like, oh no, there's a Michael's here. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a Michael's right here. And so of course we had to buy a house in this subdivision. Anyways, where I got the stickers from, because I know, you know, people tend to wonder about that. These stickers here with the white border are by the brand Hobonichi, which is the brand that created this journal. And the artist's name is Yumi Kiragishi. And she creates the cutest little cats. She's got a whole journal set with the cover, pouches, stickers like you see here, a bookmark, and it's called White Cat's Daily Life. And that's where all this comes from, the stickers with the white around them. So that's where I got that. These two with the foil, if you can see the foil in the sunlight here, these come from the Coffee Monsters Co. And she is online. Her name is Helen Wang. She does the cutest little bits of artwork, little emojis, and you'll see her stuff all throughout my journal. I don't use her exclusively, but I do use her stuff quite a bit. I love this. When I saw this on Etsy, I literally laughed out loud, and I was like, I need this sticker in my life. And I may go back and order a print if she still has prints. This is from Grace Moth on Etsy. And this is from a roll of PET tape sold by London Gifties. And then we have these two stickers. That's my own artwork. This comes from an 11 by 14 watercolor painting I did a few years ago. And the background behind the moon is celestial. And I call this Moon Roses. And the original sold a little over a year ago. But I have the scans, so I can do stickers and prints from it. And then this one is a detail of a, I think it's 9 by 12 painting. And this is of Stonehenge with a nebula over it. And this one also sold like a year and a half ago. But again, I have the scans. If you'd like a print, let me know. So those are my original watercolor paintings. And on this channel, I will be showing you how to watercolor. It's not as difficult as it seems. It's actually pretty easy once you learn just 2 little basic tricks: how to handle your water and how to do what's called glazing. When you layer different colors on top of one another to get depth, it looks complicated. It isn't. And it's a lot of fun, very relaxing. So that's where all the cover stickers come from. Now, as we open her up, what I did in here, oh, that's a bit of washi I was using to kind of keep the cover down. Let me just put it back here. This I saw on Helen Wang's YouTube channel. Again, she's the owner of the Coffee Monsters Co. And I'll put that on the screen. And what she did is she taped some sticker backing paper onto the inside cover, and she made an envelope on the other page. And so this is where she keeps her miscellaneous stickers from her sheets that she doesn't use up. So that's what I've done here. And then this pocket is for sticker sheets and other ephemera. This paper is a free download she sent. I believe it was in her December newsletter, and may have been the January one. I don't pay attention to exactly when she sends her newsletters out. So it was either December or January. And this is a roll of her washi of positive affirmations. And they read, I am unique. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am smart. I am funny. I am worthy. And we are all worthy. This lunar phase sticker, ooh, I'm not absolutely sure where I got that from, but these are from Wise Minerva Studios, who has her own website. She's also on Instagram. And I believe this is one of her stickers, but again, I'm not positive. So, you know, it's hard to remember every single sticker. But on the inside, what I did here is my word of the year is boundaries. And I have reasons as to why I chose that. And I don't feel 100% comfortable in sharing them right now because I'm not sure who'll be watching this video. Then I have these images I chose of everything that I would like to work on in 2026, in expanding in my life, looking into more, doing it more, having a more well-rounded, holistic approach to life. And then this is a rather longish affirmation about boundaries. I'm about to set my journal on fire. Let me move my candle over a little bit. And it reads, I nourish myself by saying no when I mean no, and yes when I mean yes. I know what I want and do not have to apologize for it. This comes from a desk calendar by Louise Hay that's published by Hay House Books. And I'm not sure what the year was on this calendar, but they put it out every year. And then the top part is a beautiful picture of a nature scene or of animals. It's a really nice desk calendar. I really liked mine, and I wish I thought to get it for 2026, but I just didn't think to get one, and I'm kind of missing it. But anyway, these pictures I took off of Canva. I do have a pro account, but you do not need to pay for Canva Pro to obtain access to hundreds of thousands of beautiful images that you can also use in vision boards and in your journals. And if you like, drop a little journal emoji or book emoji below if you'd like a tutorial on how I did this. It's really easy. You don't need any tech know-how. And again, you can do this with a free Canva account. So basically, just in going over the meanings of them, we have here 2026. Here's a woman holding a cup of coffee with a book. I used to read a lot of novels, and I got away from that because I went to grad school. And once you get into grad school, it's a totally different ball game. You really don't have time for anything else but your focused study. So I was working on my master's degree, so I was reading everything pertaining to my topic. And then I went on to more grad school to get my doctorate. And again, I was reading everything that pertained to my specific topic. And so you don't have time for, extracurricular reading. And when you do have time, at least for me, I needed to be doing stuff with my hands. So I did artwork. I didn't really sit there and read novels anymore. I miss that. I want to get back to more novel reading. So that's what that is. I do read a lot of self-help, self-improvement, and books on spiritual topics like tarot, spirit guides, angels, UFOs, that sort of thing. I do read a lot of that, but I need to work in the novels again. I don't know how I'm going to schedule that, so we'll see. The sunflower here, I just really loved the image and the contrast of the bright sunny yellow against the cerulean blue sky. And it also, sunflowers, they have a very special memory for me. My grandfather, he planted sunflowers in our backyard when I was really little. And I remember one of my earliest memories, I'm like about 4. And he and my dad and I are out in the backyard. My grandpa was my mom's father. We were out there in the backyard. And I remember looking up and being startled to notice that the sunflower plants were now taller than my dad and my grandpa. And my dad was really short. He was about 5'9", 5'10", and my grandpa wasn't much taller. So that memory has just always really stuck in my mind. And it was a clear blue sky like this. And so when I saw that picture, it brought that to mind. Here is a stack of river rocks or beach rocks. This to me symbolizes meditation. I don't really meditate, to be 100% honest with you. I will talk about that here on my channel. And that's because I do not meditate because I'm a Gemini. Not only that, I am what you call a stellium Gemini, which means I have 4 planets all in Gemini. And Geminis, if you don't know, are very flighty people. They jump from topic to topic. They get bored easily. On the plus side, we're great speakers. We're very creative. We come up with unique ideas. We're great conversationalists. But it's that busy monkey mind that we all have. It makes it extremely difficult for me to meditate because I always have thoughts intrude. So I don't really meditate. I do focus and settle my mind down before I do readings and before I do artwork. And I use little tools to help me. Like I'll light a stick of incense and wave it around and clear my area before I start to do the cards, to read the cards, or to do artwork. For me, artwork is spiritual. It's not just creative. It's a spiritual outlet. It's also one of the great ways we connect with the divine directly. So artwork for me is a sacred act. And so I'll clear my area with the incense, and I may wave a selenite wand around to further clear the area, or clear my artistic mediums, whatever I'm using to create in my sketchbooks and art journals. And that tends to be enough to get me into a semi-meditative state. So I would like to, really be able to meditate at least for 5 minutes. I don't know if I can even do that. I'm going to try. That's one of my goals. That's why that's there. Here we have art supplies. And there's a set of watercolors here and some brushes and some paintings. And that's just there because art is such a huge part of who I am, which is one of the main reasons I began my new channel, The Cozy Intuitive Creative, because I'm not just a professional tarot reader, witch, and visionary artist. I'm also a watercolor artist. And I work with other mediums as well, but mainly with watercolor. And so this is just a reminder, it's a very important part of me. And then here we have, I'm not quite sure, I think that's a crystal ball on a beach with a sunset behind it, just expressing the importance of connecting with our intuition. We are all intuitive beings, whether you realize you have an intuitive muscle or not. You really do. And intuition, it is not a gift. It is our birthright. And I'm over here at my channel, I'll be showing you how to strengthen your intuition and through your intuition to live a fuller life and to find easier ways to connect with your higher guidance, your angels, your spirit guide, and the divine. And here we have just a scene from nature that I thought was really pretty. And it's just a reminder to get outside more. I do live in Houston, Texas, and most of the time it's pretty hot here. I don't do well in the heat. I tend to feel kind of borderline sick when I go outside here. And what I started doing a couple summers ago is just forcing myself, even if I just sit out on our back porch for a while and not move around much, because as a witch, you need to be out in nature. That's a big part of who I am. So again, nature is really important to me, and I'm going to strive in 2026 to get out a whole lot more. And then here we just have these poppies, which to me, of course, symbolize remembrance and to express gratitude to everyone who lost their lives or made major sacrifices defending their countries, whether they're American or from another country. Doesn't matter to me. You fought for your country. You may have lost your life. You may have lost a limb. Who knows? And so the poppies remind me of that. And it reminds me of the importance of, loyalty and independence, and pride in your country. And then we have a person here lighting a candle. This is representing magic in my life, and that is magic with a CK to differentiate it from stage magic. And magic with a CK, what that is to me, it is focused intention, and focused intention, is just another form of prayer, okay? It works like prayer, except that you're focused on a candle and you're lighting it and you're imagining that you're sending your intention into the candle. So as the candle burns down and the flame burns down, it's releasing your intention up to the universe so that the universe can begin to work to help you to manifest your intention in reality. So that's the magic. Then here in the center, I have a bunch of tarot cards just tossed on the table here with candles around it, just to remind me, not that I need reminders, but that I am a professional tarot reader. And it's a reminder to always remember to do my readings with love and compassion. I am completely non-judgmental. I've had people come to me for readings with all sorts of problems and needing help and guidance with those problems, and I never judge. Because, we're all human. And if you believe in reincarnation, we've all walked the same path at one point in our lifetimes or another. And so that's how I foster and grow compassion. And I always strive to help my clients to feel better after the reading than prior to the reading. And then here we have a candle, and my goodness, it just slipped my mind what that is. I'm having a brain fart. I am so sorry. I will look it up and put the name of it on the screen. But this flower, it's all over Maui. My husband and I have been to Maui. Oh man, do I miss Maui. Anyway, I digress. And the salt here, it's a reminder to focus. A big part of my spirituality is in keeping the energy of myself and my home clear. Because as a professional reader, what happens is when you read for others, even if it's not in person and it's just over the internet, they still kind of leave their worries with you, and you don't want that stuff attaching to your energy and affecting you in any way. So it's important for me to remain, focus on cleansing, self-cleansing, house cleansing. So that's what that is there as a reminder of. So that is my vision board for 2026. Over here, blank page. I was thinking of putting my annual goals here. I haven't figured out what those are yet. One of them was to start this channel. So, hey, mission accomplished. Go me, right? And then on the next page, what you get is your year at a glance. And then you get a look back at 2025. And why they show you the previous year, I don't understand. And then this is the next year, 2027, if you need to do any future planning. I do apologize if you catch my scar in the camera frame every once in a while. I can't cover it. I have some nerve damage here from surgery. And so to put a Band-Aid on there, oh my God, talk about the pain. So I have to keep it uncovered. This I'm using as a tracker. The intention for these is just anything you want to use them for, okay? You don't have to use them the way I'm using them, but if we turn this way, you'll see these are the habits that I'm going to be tracking in the month of January. These may change for February. It all depends. But what I have here is Run Magic. That is not magical energy. That's my dog Magic. She's an Australian Shepherd. They are very active dogs, even though my Magic is a little bit of a couch potato. Well, maybe not a little bit, maybe more than a little bit. Which is really nice because I'm older now. I had an Australian Shepherd when I was in my teens, and that was great. I mean, we ran together, we played together, really active together. But now I'm older, you're not so physically active anymore. So my Magic is a little bit of a couch potato. But I do run her. I try to run her every single day because she really needs, to exercise. It's really important. Everyone needs exercise. And then how many nights I cook dinner, when I've decluttered, the days I journal and or plan. This is pretty much every day. Art, and of course, I just mentioned exercise. Reading, and by reading here, I mean reading fiction. Because like I said, I read nonfiction all the time, but I want to get into reading fiction. And so I'm going to be tracking it here. Game night, that's with my husband and he and I are addicted to the game Sequence. If you have never played Sequence, it's a great game. It's a game of strategy and skill. But it really is. It's a lot of fun. And the days I vacuum, and when the litter box needs to be either scooped or completely changed out. Because we do have a kitty cat. Her name is Blue Star. And then we get into the monthlies. This is my layout for January 2026. Over here, you get a blank column. You can do whatever you want. This is a strip of washi from the Coffee Monsters Co. These are date covers from her date covers dating back to 2025. I'll try to remember to put the card here for my video from my Positive Vibes Artist channel, because there's something really funny about these date covers, but I won't mention it here. And the days I see the chiropractor, and when my credit cards are due, and all this, These stickers are from Wise Minerva Studio. I've mentioned her before. This is my handwriting here. And I use, to get that look, a Tombow Fudenosuke pen. This allows you to do the faux calligraphy look, and I'll be showing you how to do that here. It's so easy. You can turn your own handwriting, basically, into faux calligraphy with those pens. There's a hard tip pen and a soft tip pen. So I use that throughout my journals. And They also come in different colors now. They never used to. They used to just be in black. And then this is February, which I've already kind of set up. Well, I did set it up for the monthly. I don't have anything scheduled through here yet, but here it is. And these stickers, this washi is from Wonton in a Million, who is on Instagram. This is her washi down here as well. This is the washi set she brought out for Year of the Rabbit, which was like, I don't know, was it 3 years ago? I can't remember the order of the Chinese zodiac. I think it goes rabbit, and then it was dragon, and last year was snake. I know that. And this year, 2026, is Year of the Horse. But it doesn't begin till Lunar New Year, which is this year on February the 17th. So that's why this is looking all Asian. And then these stickers are just from a miscellaneous sticker sheet. I believe it's by Notebook Therapy. Don't quote me on that. And it may not be available. I've gotten their, I don't know how to pronounce it, Tsuki box a couple of times. And that's a limited availability subscription box. And I think it came from one of those. But again, I'm not positive. Then we have March, which I just started to set up. And I decided instead of using stickers for the days, I'm just going to highlight them with either a Tombow brush pen, which is one of these. There's a brush tip on one side, and there is a fine tip on the other. These are water-based. You can use them just like watercolor paints. I'll show you how to do that too. I'm going to be showing you all sorts of stuff on this channel. It's going to be so much fun. So much fun. So here's that. I don't know where these little weird crumbs are coming from. Maybe I was eating chocolate. That's what it kind of looks like. But that's what I did here. And then I have, this is from the Coffee Monsters Co. along with the day headers. This is a syringe. It's the day I was taking my Repatha. I just went off of it because I think I've started to have some rather serious side effects. I've been on it for a year. And so I'm seeing my doctor on the 27th to talk to her about that. So I don't know if she's going to want me to keep taking it or what. But it's starting to make me feel really, really awful. So I stopped it. And again, I have my headers here for my monthly priorities. I always focus on my health first. Relations, that's my husband, my daughter, neighbors, friends, whomever. Finances, and then my business. And then these stickers come from All Wise Minerva Studios, from a March kit that she put out, I think, a couple years ago. I don't know if it's still up at her site or not. She has really cute, whimsical artwork. And then we have April. And then for April, all I've had time to do was to set up some washi across the top here. The April is going to be celestial themed. So that's it. And then May and everything else here is blank. And I'm going to show you the weeklies now and take you through a quick flip through here so you can see how I do them. Mine are more functional than pretty. I do put the stickers on, you know, and try to pretty it up a little bit, but it's mainly functional. And in the side panel here, this is a monthly sticker, the monthly art for January from the Coffee Monsters Co. And this is her affirmation washi. And the affirmations over here are, I am smart, I am funny, I am worthy, I am loved, I am growing, I am important, I am brave, I am creative, I am unique. So there you go. And then I just, for Monday, you know, up at the top, I always list my main priorities, and then below will be my YouTube schedule. Back when I did this, I got a new air fryer as I used that for the first time. Didn't work out too great, but it was edible. I have a little sleep tracker here that I just started doing in January to see how long I do get to sleep. I want to be able to get at least 7 hours a night. I've been doing pretty good with that. And so, like I said, all my top priorities go up at the top of the page. This was a mistake. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I got to do something. That's so ugly. But, you know, you make mistakes in your journal. What can you do, you know? Stickers, that's what stickers are for. Or decorative paper, you know, you put a decorative paper over that. Now, this is for the week of January the 5th. And here, it's a combination of scheduling, notes to myself, and memory keeping. Like here, I had a visit with my wrist surgeon. I got the best possible news. I put the eye roll kitty in there before I got the news. I should actually peel him off and try to use him somewhere else because I only have one of these. It's such an awesome sticker. Yeah, what happened with my wrist is I was overusing my phone. I was using my phone. I figured out a way to run my entire business from my phone, my blog, everything on the phone. And that's what I was doing. And it was, you know, phones are really heavy these days. They're not, you know, back in the day, they were like half as heavy as they are now. And it was putting too much pressure on the tendon here. Oh man, that hurts touching it. And so he had to go in and do his thing with the tendon. And I won't go into it. Suffices to say, I opted to have it done in his office because it was $3,000 cheaper. And also, I was curious. And he gave me a crash course on wrist surgery. I can do it now. So you got a problem with your wrist, let me know. I'll set you up for cheap. And so I wrote here, so tired of pain, eyes, hip, wrist, right knee. Oh my gosh. I don't know, man. It goes in cycles, but lately it's been like constant and it's just driving me crazy. And I talk here about fun stuff like aches and leg cramps and diarrhea. That was from the Repatha. I am convinced because I Googled the symptoms and side effects. And yeah, I had a lot of the side effects. So yeah, I need to talk to my doctor. And, you know, but thanks to the Repatha, I lost 4 pounds over a weekend. Yeah, that was a whole lot of fun. Okay, so we go on. This is the week of January the 12th. Like I said, today's the 12th, so there isn't much here except for the deco. Oh, I didn't tell you what the deco was here, did I? Wise Minerva Studios, the Coffee Monsters Co. I don't know where this really cool sticker comes from. I got it in a set of kitty stickers in various poses, all the same kitty from, I believe it was Temu. And then these little cat stickers, cats wearing hats, and others are wearing glasses and stuff. Just cute, whimsical cats. I don't remember exactly where I got those either. I think it may have been Journal Say, or it may have been Temu as well. And this is, again, a healthy eating washi by the Coffee Monsters Co. Because I need to remember to eat healthy. My husband and I are both dieting now. Serious about it. This again, my sleep tracker. So it says on Monday, I got only 4 hours of sleep, which really sucked. And I don't remember why. It was probably the pain keeping me up. And it was waking me up in the middle of the night. The leg pain, the leg cramps were horrendous. Oh my goodness. So horrendous. And then Tuesday, I got a full 8 hours because I was exhausted from only 4 hours on Monday. And then Wednesday, I got 7. Thursday, I got 6. Wednesday, 7. Saturday, 8. And I don't have Sunday on here, but I think I got another 8 hours on Sunday. And this is Magic. I shared her picture in the picture-in-picture a little bit ago. And she's just such an awesome dog. I love her so much. She's 6 years old now. Hard to believe we've had her 6 years. And so again, here's the week of the 12th. Nothing's really in it yet. I do map out my meals ahead of time because, again, calories. And my husband just started taking scuba lessons. Yeah, scuba diving. He's always wanted to do that. He retired on December the 15th from his business. He had an Always Best Care franchise, and he provided in-home care for seniors to keep them out of the nursing homes and in their own homes for as long as possible. He did that for 10 years, and then basically the pandemic ruined his business, and he tried to hold on. He tried to keep it going, and it just was not viable anymore. It wasn't making any money, and it was almost going to go into the red. So he got out just in time. This is one of those cute cat stickers wearing a hat. This is ephemera from, I believe that's Wise Minerva Studios, one of her washi strips, and I just cut it in half lengthwise. And this is one of her stickers, and this down here. And then here's another one of those cute cats, and another one. Coffee Monsters Co. emoji with a no spend that I did not fill in. Oh no, it's because it's January the 12th. Oh, well, I have not managed to spend any money today. At least not yet, but the day is early. But I'm going to go ahead and give myself a little circle there. Yay! But, you know, she sells these. They come in little sheets about yay big. And you get a lot. You don't think you do because the sheets are so little, but she really manages to cram a lot on them. And let's see, that's it for that week. Next week, I am switching from Mondays to Tuesdays for seeing my chiropractor because Mondays are just too busy for me business-wise. So going to see him on a Monday just doesn't work out. And plus, he happens to be really busy on Mondays. So Tuesdays, it's a lot more relaxed there, and I prefer to go on Tuesdays. And then, again, the ephemera. I've got one of those cats in a hat here. And then another one here. I should be taking my Repatha on the 23rd. I don't know. I think I'm going to try it one more time before I get my blood drawn. But because I was due to take it on Friday and it's Monday. So I think I will give it another. I was going to say give it a shot tonight. No pun intended. But yeah, I will be good and take it tonight on the 12th. And I will mark it in here that I've taken it. And then it's every 2 weeks, and then I go see her on the 27th. So that'll be perfect timing. And I can tell her, look, it's doing this, it's doing that. And I feel awful. And it's the nighttime leg cramps that are the worst. And then the stomach stuff. Oh, God. Anyway, Wise Minerva Studios. Sleep tracker not filled in yet. Meals not filled in, because again, this is for the week of the 19th. And then we have January moving into February. So the 1st is on a Sunday. Aren't these just the cutest? Coffee Monsters Co. again. And the cats in hats and glasses. So, and a little bit of Wise Minerva Studios. That's her sticker as well. And then we have going into February now, the first week of February. This is PET tape of a bunch of green witches that I purchased from London Gifties. And I didn't figure out until after I purchased them, it's AI. And the way I figured it out is one of the witches, her hat has got 2 points on it. There's actually a second point back here in the background. So every time I use that particular one, I cut that point off because it just drives me. Ugh. And it's hard to tell when it's AI art and you're looking at it online. I thought it was gorgeous watercolors. I thought this person did this in Photoshop or Procreate or maybe on paper. But no, when I got the roll, I was like, oh no, it's all AI. I'm an artist. I am a human. Therefore, I really despise AI-generated art only because they used the artwork of real humans to train the AI to copy styles. Yeah. So there's actually a human being with artwork in this style that's being ripped off by AI. So yeah, that's despicable in my book. But I digress. Getting back to it. This is really, really cute washi from One Ton in a Million. Again, she's on Instagram. This is from Year of the Rabbit, and I am a rabbit. I was born in a Year of the Rabbit, so that's why I bought everything that was in that particular kit for that year, so I can just keep reusing it. I don't just use it for Chinese New Year, the Year of the Rabbit stuff. And this, again, the monthly artwork for February from the Coffee Monsters Co. Wise Minerva Studios. Repatha. And then we have moving into Valentine's Day, which is going to be on Saturday the 14th this year. These are from an Etsy shop. It's called Bujo, and then J-E-J. And I'm not sure how she pronounces the J-E-J, so I won't even attempt to say it. She has gorgeous artwork. Unfortunately for me, she's in Poland, and because of the tariffs, I can no longer order from her because she can't ship it out to America. So that really, really sucks because her new stuff is really cute too. This is from the Washi Tape Shop. I do have a code for them. I will, all my codes, my discount codes are down below in the description. I get a very tiny commission from those codes if you use them. And that's at no extra cost to you. And I would deeply, deeply appreciate your support of my channel and my family. It would be fantastic. This is the Washi Tape Shop again. These I got from a local store in Tomball, Texas. Tomball, Texas is 20 minutes from my house. This comes from the Little Craft Place. They are on Instagram. They have littlecraftplace.com as their website. As far as I know, they ship worldwide, but don't quote me on that. Go check out their site. Lovely, lovely owners, Ian and Eunice. And every time I go there, I spend way too much. It's very dangerous, so I have to stay away. And then again, I have my sleep tracker here, some more of that same really cute washi. And again, the Washi Tape Shop. This is also the Washi Tape Shop, and so is that. And then over here, getting back into the theme of the Chinese New Year, because we have the Lunar New Year here. I don't have any horse stickers, and so I'm going to go through my animal images and put something here. I do have something on the actual 17th of a horse, but there we go. And this again is Wonton in a Million from her Year of the Rabbit collection. This is miscellaneous washi stickers. Again, I think they come from Notebook Therapy, but don't quote me on that. And then we have some more, excuse me, the Coffee Monsters Co. affirmations here. I am strong, I am beautiful, I am funny. And then that's it. I didn't do anything else there. Now, the next section of the Hobonichi is for your dailies. You get a blank page for your cover page for the month if you'd like it. And I do have to cover that. Again, I just copied over my vision board for the year for the start of January, so I've already talked about that. Down at the bottom here are Helen's affirmation washi, which I've mentioned repeatedly. And there is my entry for the new year, and that we were up until 1:30 a.m. because of the fireworks, which was it was tough, folks. It was tough. All right, I think this is pretty much okay. If you see a sticker on here, it's because I don't want you to read something, but I don't tend to get too personal in this. I have over here just a positive phrase, reach up for the sunrise. That's a song by Duran Duran. I absolutely love Duran Duran. I am a person of the 80s. I wish the 80s could have gone on forever. Best music, Duran Duran, David Bowie, Culture Club, OMD, which stands for Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, all that good stuff. Oh, it's all gone. I mean, it's not gone, but, these days music, it does nothing for me. Sad to say. But I love that song. That is my alarm on my phone, so I hear it every morning when I wake up. It's really positive. I love it. And then this is just a miscellaneous sticker. I believe it comes from Pipsticks. And then again, we have the Coffee Monsters Co. And this is her, I believe it is Tabletop Treasures washi. And this is from Simply Gilded. Coffee Monsters Co. down the side again. And I don't remember who did the date covers up here. Oh, wait. I think they're from Etsy. Mandy Lynn Plans. I'm pretty sure that's who does those. And then I have January 4th. Sometimes people drive me crazy. Okay. I'm actually a very positive person. It just comes naturally to me. It takes a lot to upset me. It really does. I've always been so thankful for that. Because, you know, everyone's on their own path, and I'm like, okay, that's probably your path. You don't have to be on my path or in my life, and I don't have to pay attention to this. And so, you know, I go off and do my own thing. And that's why I have very few friends, because I just don't put up with the BS, you know? So, yeah. But sometimes even those I love the most will drive me crazy. And, you know, I talk here about being worried about my husband. We did not have our family Christmas. My daughter's being a bit of a pill about that. And it's the 12th and we still haven't had it. I mean, you know, and we don't get me wrong, we have a great relationship with her, but she has anxiety and it affects her ability to eat and stuff, affects her ability to sleep. She's got Erland syndrome. If you don't know about Erland syndrome, it is a disconnect between the eyeball and the optic nerve where your brain does not allow you to see all the colors in the spectrum that are normally visible to humans. And that causes, it can cause insomnia, which is what she's dealing with right now. It can cause anxiety, which she's had since puberty, and it can cause other issues. And people with Erland syndrome, they wear corrective tinted lenses. And to look at them, her lenses look purple. But when she looks out through her lenses, she sees clear, just regular colors. Then if she takes them off, our eggshell walls in her home look lime green to her. And when she first got her Erland lenses, when she was about, I think she was 15, when we finally figured out what the problem was, she, you know, comes from the eye doctor and she's like, oh my God, Mom, the walls, the walls. And I'm like, you know, what about the walls? And she says, I always thought they were lime green. I'm like, what? Yeah. She never said a word about the walls because she thought we saw that way too. I mean, it's freaky. It's freaky. And I hate it. And I think now, thinking back, I think my dad had it. Excuse me. Talking too much. My throat's getting dry. Because he told me, I remember this because it was so bizarre. When I was really little, my mom was teaching me, you know, how to read out of Dr. Seuss books. And so I would sit between them on the couch with Dad looking over my shoulder, and he'd point to the words and he'd say, did you see that? I said, yeah, the words? He goes, no. Did you see them move? Look, they're moving again. And he'd go like this with his finger. And I'm like, what, Dad? You know, I called him Daddy back then. What, Daddy? Well, that's the main symptom of Erland syndrome, where the words appear to be flowing like a river across the page. My daughter always saw that way when she read, and she compensated for it. Do you know our child maintained an A average despite that? It was amazing. And then afterwards, when she was diagnosed, she could have had all these special accommodations, and the school didn't want to give her any of them. And that was a whole other nightmare. And I'm talking about my new pen here, my first Pilot, the Decimo retractable. Oh, I love that pen. I don't have it in here. I may do a whole video just on that pen. I am in love with that pen. And I collect fountain pens. I have a lot of them. And from all different brands. And it is such a joy to write on this paper with a fountain pen. This paper, it's called Tomo River paper. That's how I pronounce it. Some people will pronounce it Tomei or Tomoe, and I don't know what the proper pronunciation is. It's a Japanese paper. It's very crinkly. It's a gorgeous cream color, at least in this particular journal. It does come in white as well. Fountain pens just glide on this paper. I love it. And Magic and I had a nice walk that day. And is this the day I ran into the neighbors too? Yeah. Our next door neighbors, Esther and Juan, and their dog Ginger. And then we had a nice chat. And it was too hot for January. It was 77 degrees on January 5th. I could not believe it. I'm like, when's winter coming? And then the AC on, 80 degrees. What the? And I have the heat really, really sucks. I really need to feel cold for a certain amount of days in a year. And here in Houston, we don't get very many, but usually by January, it's pretty cold here, like in the 50s, the 40s, consistently. We're not getting that. You know, it's really bizarre. 80 there, 79 there, bright and sunny. I saw the orthopedist on the 7th when I got the all clear, except it's going to be another 4 months of nerve pain as my nerves heal, because he had to move the nerves out of the way to do the surgery on my wrist. So that's why I have all this weird, tingly, burning sensation through here. Even if cold water hits my hand here, oh my God, it hurts. It hurts to take a shower. Oh, it's awful. One of my favorite shows, The Curse of Oak Island. I am a frustrated archaeologist. That's what all of my, well, most of my academic background is in. So I love to watch shows like that where people are digging up stuff, even though they're digging up just little trinkets and, you know, bits of crap. It interests me. I've been watching that show for 12 years now. God, I can't believe it. And then, my leg! If you watch SpongeBob SquarePants, you know. My leg! That's from the Rapatha and the massive muscle cramps I was having. I sketched this. I thought that turned out cute. I'm thinking of doing that and making a sticker sheet. What happened to winter? And then this is so funny. I don't know if I have, I'll flash a picture of him on the screen here so you can see what I see as the resemblance between this cat sticker and the serial killer, Jeffrey Dahmer. That was the first thing I thought of when I saw that sticker in the pack. I was like, oh my God, it's a Jeffrey Dahmer cat. Oh my gosh. My mother and I watched his trial live on Court TV back in the day when he was caught and put on trial. And to hear the testimony from the family members left behind, and then the one guy who escaped, I had nightmares for years from that. For years. And I was like about, I don't know how old I was. I was in my early 20s when Dahmer was doing his evil shit. But yeah, this cat. Then I had video mayhem because I had all sorts of tech issues go on. Yeah, which is pretty much normal for me. Tech and I just do not get along. The new pen is amazing. And what's so funny is Helen from the Coffee Monsters Co. has one as well. And it's here. And I believe it's the same color as mine. I have the purple one. And I saw that and I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe that was in my stash. So my fountain pen has its own sticker. And now I wish she would do a whole page of just this emoji. It's actually on a page of emojis holding different types of fountain pens. I need a whole page of that one. I need to email her and beg her to do one. Because she has the artwork, and all she's got to do is repeat it on a page, print it out, and start selling it. I'd buy a lot of them. And then this is where I'm figuring out that Rapatha's been making me sick. At least that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. It was also study day for me, and I study various topics. I'm always learning new things, a lot of them having to do with tech and how to do things online. So yeah, that's always fun. This comes from Margona Sulis. I think it's pronounced Margona Sulis Art. She's on Etsy. She's also overseas, and I actually ordered from her in November. It is January 12th. I haven't gotten my order yet. I don't know if it's stuck in customs. I made a point of ordering just flat things, so just sticker sheets, because I figured she could send it as a normal letter. So we can, get around the substance. What the hell am I talking about? That was a good movie, The Substance, on HBO. If you haven't seen The Substance with Demi Moore and you like horror movies and body horror, oh my God, that movie. Oh my God. Anyway, totally digressing. See, Gemini Monkey Mind. There I go. Gemini Monkey Mind, my middle name. Margona Sulis. I will put her name across the bottom of the screen because I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. But this is some of her washi I bought from her like about 6 months ago or something. And so, yeah, my order's stuck somewhere, or maybe it just got lost. Who knows? You know, coming from Europe, you just never know. I am a huge Chicago Cubs fan, okay? And you're going to see me. I won't mention them all the time once baseball season starts, unless they start winning. No, I'm kidding. I won't mention them all the time, regardless. But on January 10th, a miracle occurred because the Cubs ownership is notorious for not wanting to spend top dollar for the best players. They signed Alex Bregman, $175 million for a 5-year contract, which with the Cubs is freaking unheard of. And I'm thinking that they're thinking World Series or bust. And again, I put here, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. And here I'm quoting a couple of former Cubs announcers. Holy cow was always said by Harry Carey, who is my favorite. And when I was really little, Jack Burkhouse was calling the games, and he would say, hey, hey, when someone made a great play or hit a home run. So that's what that is. But yeah, Alex Bregman is a Chicago Cub. Woo, it's going to be awesome. Anyway, okay. Here we go here. I'm talking about my rebranding of Magical Musings and the Positive Vibes Artist into the Cozy Intuitive Creative. And I just grew tired of it, and I kind of felt like it was holding me back from fully expressing myself, my old business. And so I'm going to be doing the same stuff. It's just everything is under the same umbrella, and I think that will help. That will help me to, you know, focus more on my creativity, because I journal every day. So the journaling isn't a problem, but I have to get back to my art. And I want to get back to reading fiction, you know. And also I go into how, you know, it hasn't gone well with my business since COVID. I'm still doing okay, but my income has been cut in half since COVID. So like if something were to happen to my husband, I wouldn't be able to keep all the bills paid with my income. So, and I'm talking about faith here and the world being in the shitter, and how people who would typically order from me just don't seem, I hate to say it, but a lot of people are losing their faith. And I've seen that in their posts and the things that they post and talk about on Facebook, and it breaks my heart, which is one of the reasons I've left Facebook. I'm still keeping my art Instagram. I'm there on Instagram as the Positive Vibes Artist. I'm keeping that account because I follow so many awesome artists on there. I don't want to lose connection with them. But I've begun a new Instagram for the Cozy Intuitive Creative. So that's there as well. But I'm leaving Facebook because of that. It just hurts my heart too much to see people who were once bright and happy and sharing cat videos and talking about tarot and spirituality, and now it's murky over there. And there's a lot of toxicity going on over there with people criticizing their various governments and stuff and politicians, and I can't take it because I see that on the news every day. I don't need to also see it when I'm trying to unwind on social media. So I've left Facebook completely. I am only going to be maintaining a couple of my groups on there, and that is it. I'm not even looking at my timeline. I'm not even reading my messenger over there. And of course, I've told everyone over there I've left. I'm now over on Substack. That's where I'm going to be doing my posts and running my newsletter, and all that is over on Substack. And those links are below, and I'll remember to put the link across the screen here as well. So, and I decluttered the bedroom to create, well, really to clean out my journaling space, because when you journal, as you will discover, if you haven't already, your space gets really cluttered. quick. And so I had to clear it out so I could film over here because this desk was covered. It was covered. So, and then this was Sunday, which was yesterday. And it was 65 was the high, 38 was the low overnight. So now that's getting to be a little bit more like January weather. And today the high was 55, and I haven't put that up here yet. And that is, yeah, ChatGPT. I've got a whole story about that, but I don't know. I don't know if I will share it here or post it over on Substack. I don't know. It is going to be going out in my newsletter. If you want to read about exactly what happened to me using ChatGPT Sunday night, January the 11th of 2026, subscribe to my newsletter on Substack. My newsletter will always be free. My posts over there will always be free. The only thing going on in the paid tier is I share a monthly reading of the energy for the month and weekly readings for my patrons. Formerly of Patreon, now I'm doing it over on Substack. So they're moving over there gradually, and I'm going to be doing lessons on manifestation, working with our angels and our spirit guides, art lessons that will be geared for them, won't be shared on YouTube. None of that will be shared on YouTube. They'll be all exclusive to my paid tier. So I do have the free tier and the paid tier, so you may want to check out both of them. And I have a post over there as to what I offer specifically. But yeah, that was really bizarre. That happened to me last night. I'm going to go ahead and flip over to February and show you what I did for the 17th, which is Lunar New Year. And then that's the only other thing I've done in here. Show you that right quick. But yeah, there we go. The horses. Isn't that pretty? And that comes from that Louise Hay Dust calendar. And I don't remember what year I had. I think it was 2023 I had, or 2024. So, and again, washi stickers. And these I know are notebook therapy. And then 1 ton in a million. And that's all I've gotten here so far. And then in the back, what I do in the back is I do all of my stamping tests, my ink tests on these back pages here. And then I have specific places where I watercolor to test the watercolors. This paper takes watercolor beautifully. It will crinkle up. It's supposed to do that. That's part of the charm of Tomoe River paper. I just love that. And then over here, I swatched my autumn colors from Tombow dual brush pens, and I need to do my winter palette, and then I'll be doing a spring and a summer palette. And then in my 2027 journal, I'll just pull these pages out and tip them in to that journal. And if you don't know what tip-ins are, you'll learn about that on this channel too. Or you can Google. Google knows all. This is my pen test page. So I was testing how these pens behave on this paper, plus the inks in them. Everything that has a heart did really great, and I can use it on this paper. Some of them bled through. My 2 favorite colors of ink both bleed through. I'm really upset about that, but we'll not talk about that. And yeah, so that's what I do in the back. And then, also my 100 is basically, I'm using it as a currently inked. So this is everything, all the inks I'm using right now, and the brand of fountain pens that the inks are in. So there's that. So that's all for this little journal flip through. I will go ahead and do the second half of January in a separate video because this one ran long. I was going to merge them together in an edit. You guys would have never known that, but now it's going to have to be part 2 because I talk a lot. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give the video a like. And if you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe to my channel. And also, once you subscribe, a little bell will show up and it'll do a little dance. Please click on that bell. A little short menu will open. Click on the top option, which is all. That will send you a notification to your YouTube notifications every time I upload a new video. Otherwise, you won't know when I upload, even if you do subscribe, and YouTube won't tell you. Yeah, it's bizarre the way that works. And I upload, for now, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I will eventually expand my filming schedule to include Saturdays. And so I do plan to be uploading 3 times a week. So I hope you do come back. Thank you for watching. This is Nefer Khepri, the Cozy Intuitive Creative, wishing you a very blessed day ahead.